Yo, what is up everybody, Truck here, and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. Yesterday was insane. Now before I tell you guys what happened yesterday, I want every single one of you to answer a very simple question. Just go below, type your answer. My question is, did you see any rare Pokemon yesterday? If you did, let me know. If you didn't, I'm sorry, you need to move. Now before I tell you guys exactly what happened yesterday, let me give you guys a little bit of background info. So as I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware, most cities in America have a Pokemon Go Facebook page dedicated to each particular city. People use it to tell people where new nests are, new spawns are, when the nest migrations happen. If people are moving to the area, they want to know where to catch a Bulbasaur, stuff like that. And some people also use the page to let people know if there's a rare Pokemon spawning in the area. So a lot of people use third-party scanners, and basically they'll scan an entire city, and if a Dratini pops up, or an Aerodactyl, which never happens, or if a Snorlax pops up, what they'll do is they'll take a screenshot of the area it's in and be like, yo, there's a Snorlax here for 8 more minutes, good luck, go catch it. And that is where the story begins. So it all started out yesterday when I was doing my regular Pokemon Go hunting. I'm trying to save up for another Gyarados. We've got a Magikarp nest, the weather was alright, so I was like, alright, I'm gonna go catch a couple Magikarp. After I catch a few and I'm ready to go home, I get a notification on my phone, and it pops up, and it's the Pokemon Go group, and I look at it, and there's a Dragonite nearby. So I get there, it pops up, the first time ever, I was ecstatic. It was a 351 CP. So I was a little bit disappointed, but all that matters is I caught it. So I'm thinking about it, and I realized that this is only the second time I've ever seen anybody post anything about a Dragonite in Northern Colorado since Pokemon Go's been released. Now, most days in Northern Colorado, you don't see a Snorlax, nobody posts about a Snorlax, nobody finds one because they don't spawn in. But a few hours later, I get a notification on my phone once again. A Snorlax is over here, a couple miles away from where I was. I was like, all right, I can make it. I get there, I catch it, 520 CP Snorlax. I'm like, wow, this is probably the best Pokemon Go day I've ever had. But it wasn't done. I kept getting notifications that there was a Snorlax here, there was a Snorlax on the other side of town, a Snorlax way up here, a Snorlax over there. They were spawning everywhere. I was able to catch 2 more Snorlaxes in 1 hour. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting. After I had caught one of them, I get another notification, and this time it wasn't a Snorlax. Guess which Pokemon spawned in? A Lapras. I thought to myself, this is way too good to be true. It's probably 30 miles away. I'll never get there on time. It was a quarter mile away. I get there, it pops up, I'm freaking out. I've never seen a Lapras in the wild. I click on it, I'm expecting a really low CP like the Dragonite and the Snorlaxes I had caught earlier. 2391. The second highest CP I've ever seen in the wild next to a Rhydon, and I was like, this is not happening. It's too good to be true. Well, 30 Ultra Balls later, it was too good to be true. The motherfucker ran. So I'm a little bit angry, you know, that may have been my only chance to ever catch a Lapras. But not even 5 minutes later, I get another notification on my phone, and boom, a Snorlax is a half a mile away. And I think to myself, I've probably seen like 4 or 5 Snorlaxes in my city since the game came out. I've seen more than that in one night. Maybe there's an update I completely missed, or maybe there's one that they didn't tell anybody about, like the Ditto update. So I go and catch the Snorlax, 899 CP. Once again, I'm disappointed, but it doesn't matter. 3 in one night. And a Dragonite. And a Lapras that I didn't catch. So I woke up this morning and I checked the group page, and it turns out in the same spot that Lapras spawned, a Dragonair had spawned a couple hours later. What? So at this point, I'm super confused. I assume I missed an update. I checked Twitter. Turns out I did miss an update, a huge one. Minor text fixes. Again. So I go for a drive this morning, hit a couple Pokestops, run into another Snorlax. 2394 CP, the highest Snorlax by far I've ever seen in the wild. And at that point, I'm like, I have to make a video. One Dragonite, cool. A Dragonite and a Snorlax, that's pretty rare. A Dragonite, 3 Snorlaxes, alright, something's going on. A Dragonite, a Lapras, 3 Snorlaxes, and a Dragonair, and another Snorlax? What's going on? And it started making me think back to the time where people were asking, when is Gen 2 gonna come out? When are we gonna see Gen 2? When's the Gen 2 update? And the only response I ever saw that didn't want Gen 2 were by people who said, hey, I haven't completed the Pokedex yet. I don't want Gen 2 yet. I'll never be able to complete the Gen 1 Pokedex then. So what if Niantic is increasing rare Pokemon spawns so that people who have not yet completed the Gen 1 Pokedex, me, so they can catch the hard Pokemon like Snorlax and Lapras and Dragonite and stuff like that, because all 3 in one night is absolutely unheard of here. Because imagine how much harder it'll be for someone like me to find an Aerodactyl when you throw in another 100 Pokemon into Pokemon Go. I'll never find it. So it got me thinking again, and I came up with a pretty crazy theory, but I think it might work out. Eventually we need Gen 2, and eventually we need breeding. However, I think breeding comes after Gen 2, and I can't think of a better time for breeding to be introduced into Pokemon Go than Easter. eggs, Easter, breeding, eggs, Easter, breeding, eggs, Easter, you get it. But that's 3 months away. So that leaves 3 months between now and Easter to introduce Gen 2. We've got one major holiday between now and Easter, and it's Valentine's Day. So my crazy theory is they're increasing Gen 1 rare spawns so people can complete their Pokedex before they release Generation 2 in February, which is literally a month away. And then they introduce breeding this spring, and then this summer people are walking around hatching eggs again and everybody's happy. That would be cool. So I want you guys to let me know, have you seen a bunch of rare Pokemon? I hope you guys have. I hope I wasn't the only one, but if I was, you guys all need to move. You need to move here. You can't live with me though, that won't work. If you enjoy watching me suffer, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you like Pokemon Go and you're new here, make sure to subscribe. I love you all. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy.